have Becky Peterson, Gail Hall, Donnie Peterson, Brother Donnie Peterson, Bishop Hayden, Diane Richards, over here. Dave Poole, is he here? Yes. Alan Brooks, and our own Keithley and Clyde Stewart. Meet me backstage, please. Give us about 5 minutes, we'll be ready.
The film they're up.
Joe, call him.
Chase!
Okay. I need some parents to help me sing this one. This is to the tune of On Top of Old Smoky.
This is
Y'all know that. I don't give a
excuse me, David's.
Okay.
It's the new Webelos book.
All right.
Come around here where you can see the words. I don't think you know. Ready? I don't hear you people singing, and I don't see your mouth. I can't read it. And I learned a long time ago, if your mouth doesn't move, you're not singing. About a good guy and a bad guy. So what do you do when you see a bad guy? Shoot it! What do you do when you see the hero or the good guy? Okay. Y'all need to scoot back because they're going to be standing right here. Can y'all scoot back just a little bit? Are we ready? Our story opens, and we find ourselves in a densely wooded forest where lovely Prudence Pureheart is picking wild berries while whistling a merry tune. Unbeknownst to her, the village villain, Dirty Dan, is creeping up behind her. He grabs her and tries to steal a kiss. She slaps the villain in the face. He picks her up over his shoulder and carries her. She screams and beats him. She screams and beats him and marches around in a circle 3 times. Then he heads for home to steal her grandmother's money. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Prudence's grandmother is sitting on a chair, stirring some cake batter. The cat is sleeping underneath the table. The old dog, Shep, enters the house and barks at the cat. The cat jumps on Grandma's lap. Grandmother slaps the cat and says, "Get down, you dirty creature." The cat jumps down and runs outside. The dog comes over and licks Grandma's hand. He keeps licking her hand all the way up to the elbow. All the way up to the elbow, the dog is licking Grandma's hand. Grandma kicks the dog. The dog goes over and lies in a corner. Just then, the villain enters the room with Prudence on his shoulders. Grandma on the leg. Prudence faints on the floor. The dog barks at the villain, then goes over and starts licking Prudence's face. He licked her face for 15 seconds while she remains perfectly still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, you're supposed to be licking. Just then, our hero, Dudley Do-Right, enters and says, "Forsooth and anon." Forsooth and anon.
Forsooth and anon.
Prudence stands up and screams, "Oh, my darling Dudley! Oh, my darling Dudley!" Dudley and Prudence embrace. Dudley says, "I love you, my precious."
I love you, my precious.
Prudence says, "I love you, my little lotus blossom." All of a sudden, the villain picks up the chair and throws it at Dudley. And Grandma falls to the floor. Prudence faints and falls on the table.
Table's over there.
Faints and falls on the table.
There, bro.
The table falls crashing to the ground. Grandmother tries to revive her. Grandmother tries to revive her by slapping her on the hand while sobbing, "My child, my child." And this goes on and on and on. The cat re-enters the house, jumps up on the chairs, and runs over by the table. She jumps up on the table. Dudley stands up and begins flexing his muscles. The villain begins to tremble and shake, and his knees knock together. And this goes on and on. The dog starts barking, and the cat starts meowing. And this goes on and on and on. Dudley decides to warm up for the fight, so he does a few exercising by starting out with 10 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then he runs in place for 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All this while Grandmother is sobbing and slapping, and the villain is trembling, and the dog is barking, and the cat is meowing. And then Dudley does 5 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the 4th push-up, the villain seizes his opportunity and hits Dudley on the head. Dudley falls unconscious to the floor. Just then, the cat scratches the dog's nose. The dog and cat have a fight right on top of Dudley for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, on top of Dudley. 8, 9, 10. Then the dog chases the cat outside. Just then, the table collapses again, and Prudence falls again to the floor, grandmother and all. Prudence remains unconscious. Granny shouts, "You nasty villain," and starts hitting him in the stomach. The villain doubles over. The villain straightens up. She hits him more and more in the stomach, over and over. And this goes on and on. The The villain again bends over. She gives him a rabbit punch on the back of the neck. He collapses unconscious to the floor. Granny looks around at the 3 unconscious bodies. Then she straightens her shawl around her shoulders and she heads for the door for a night on the town saying, "All's well that ends well."
Okay, we'll give him the eagle applause. You're supposed to lock your thumbs together. Flies off, okay? Let's go. Thank you. Don't walk off.
Chase has earned the $18 award. And now there's 3 of that you earned, right? 1 Cub Scouts, 1 Boy Scouts, 1 is an adult. 1 priesthood. The first one is Blaze Badge. It's thank God, King.
Go ahead and pin it on him.
All right. Where's the big stuff?
Right there.
Pocket?
Chase, why don't you explain to him what that is so the other boys will know?
Explain to the boys what they do.
Well,
Nathan just got one in the Boy Scouts on honor for Wednesday night at the Boy Scouts.
Genealogy? Let's work on genealogy.
If I read a 50-word essay on duty there.
Yeah.
No, that's...
Yay.
So, he gets to change out his scarf to a Webelos scarf. Give Chase the ghost applause. You're going to take your hands up and just act like a ghost.